Center Museum, located at Center High School, is a true community treasure. The museum was started by a dedicated group of retired teachers in the 1980s. Since that time, a revolving group of volunteers, including retired teachers and alumni, have built the collection and hosted many groups touring the museum, currently located at Center High School. With the pandemic, the museum has been closed for the last year, though we hope to reopen to the public sometime this fall. In order to make the museum more available to the public, the Foundation has agreed to support a part-time museum administrator who will have regular, though limited, hours of operation and will coordinate the continued work of our volunteers. Joe Mosby from the class of 1972 has agreed to take on this very important role with the museum. During the pandemic, we've explored ways to allow people to experience Center history online, initially through a series of conversations with people about their history and experiences at Center. Tonight, we're proud to unveil the new Center Museum YouTube channel, where recordings of these conversations will be archived and available to the public. Here are some brief excerpts of conversations with three very talented band directors from the 1980s through 2003. Carolyn Knapp, Tim Greenwell, and Dr. Amy Knops will talk about a band trip to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl that was highlighted by a parade in a blinding snowstorm. Tell us some favorite experiences from band trips.
Oh, the favorite experience was the Cotton Bowl when we went to Dallas, Texas. It was an amazing time. It was in January, and so the weather was an issue. And I can remember that I think Tim and I were with the band having lunch, trying to decide whether or not we were going to honestly do that parade because the snow was going to come. It hadn't come yet. And we were watching the weather very carefully and decided we would line up. So the whole band lined it up. I believe that we were right behind the Kansas State band. And of course, as we were standing there, the snow did begin. And did it ever snow? The largest flakes. I have the most wonderful picture of the band with the snowflakes coming down. By the end of the parade, we had snow on our hats, the snow on the drums, and very chilly Guard members.
Carol described it perfectly and very accurately, and I share all those same memories. And truly, the parade was both the most amazingly interesting event, I think, in my lifetime. And Carolyn's right. I mean, no sooner did we line up than that snow started. But I think that was probably one of my most proudest moments in all of my time at Center was those kids and our chaperones and Carolyn and I just literally marching through it. No one fell out of rank. Everyone played and spun and danced and did everything they were supposed to do, just like we rehearsed. And we went that entire parade route with everyone doing what they were supposed to do. And it was truly moving, touching, and freezing. And I remember we got right into the Coliseum there on the state fairgrounds where the parade and the bowl game were held. And it was truly the biggest relief. I think we were more cold in Dallas than we ever had been in Kansas City. And that is saying a lot.
And now we'll hear some stories of memorable performances by the student singing group known as the 87th Street Gang, from longtime faculty advisor Alice Jean Meacham.
One of the ones I remember was, it was down at the plaza at some women's convention or something, and we had to kind of wait out in the hall, and there were other conventions going on, and there were the Ford tractor men were there, regional Ford tractor. And they got to looking at all the pretty girls, and then they heard us sing, and then they had us come over and sing for them. And they passed the basket around and put money in it and gave it to us. And so we stopped at Winstead's on the way back to school and picked most of the money. And then one year on Veterans Day, we were going to a nursing home. So I'm teaching them these songs, and they would say, "Where did you get these songs, from World War II?" And I said, "No, World War I." And we went to this nursing home, and there all these nursing home people were sitting there just, and they started singing those songs, and they perked up and started singing with them. And I thought that was just really neat.
You can see the full conversations on the Center Museum YouTube channel, which can be reached through the museum Facebook page or the foundation website, www.centereducationfoundation.org. There are also some wonderful tributes to Don Schaefer, some of which we'll see a bit later this evening. We want to add to this collection. Anyone interested in sharing stories for the collection, please contact me via the foundation website, centereducationfoundation.org.